I just decided that my life had no meaning." Those were the words of Donna Summer when she made up her mind to end her own life. The world saw her as the sensual, sexual, and energetic queen of disco. But in real life, she was trapped in a violent and abusive relationship and overwhelmed by shame and guilt. But what pushed Donna Summer so far that she wanted to jump from a hotel window? And what was the miracle that saved her life? In this video, we will tell you the tragic real-life story of Donna Summer while also showing you some of her rare photos. She was the disco queen of the 70s and 80s, a larger-than-life sex symbol. But in real life, she felt ugly and insecure, and for a long time, she hated herself. As she said, "You're looking at me, but what you see is not what I am. How many roles do I play in my own life?" To understand how she found herself in such a dark place at the height of her fame, we have to understand the turmoil in which her life began. She was born LaDonna Adrienne Gaines on December 31st, 1948 in Boston to parents Andrew and Mary Gaines. Donna and her 6 siblings grew up poor. Her father was a butcher who had to work 3 jobs to feed the family. Her mother was a school teacher. Both parents were extremely strict. Donna was not allowed to wear makeup or lipstick or listen to pop music. Her father once smacked her because she tried on red nail polish. Furious, he told her that only prostitutes wear nail polish. Not being allowed to wear makeup to make herself feel pretty must have had a devastating effect on little Donna, as for most of her young life, she felt ugly and insecure. When she was 6 years old, she had an accident involving a kitchen chair that her father was fixing. It cut a 3-inch gash across her little cheek. Donna later recalled in her memoir, "The doctors who treated me were afraid to use stitches on my cheek because they thought it would make whatever scar I was surely going to have even worse." And it did leave a scar, one that Donna found hideous. Every time she looked in the mirror, all she saw was that scar. All I could see was that scar staring back at me, mocking me, and making me feel unworthy. Her own siblings and the neighborhood kids used to tease her. Even at her young age, she started suffering bouts of depression and also started wetting the bed. The latter would last until she was 16. Apart from being strict, her parents were also deeply religious. But ironically, it was in church where she was sexually abused. When she was a teenager, by her own pastor no less, Donna's brother, Ricky, would later say about their pastor, "He did the devil's work better than most." And for Donna, the ordeal became a defining moment in her life. However, despite that, Donna had always been very close to God and credited him for literally saving her life more than once. The first time was when she was 8 years old and nearly drowned in a pool. Her siblings fished her out of the water just in time. Donna was unconscious but insisted that God saved her and that he had plans for her. When she was 10, she said that she had an epiphany and that God spoke to her. She was singing in church when all of a sudden something changed in her voice.
I started singing, and all of a sudden I opened my mouth and this voice just came catapulting out of my body.
It was at that moment that God spoke to her. "He said to me that I was going to be famous and that I was not to misuse the power that he was giving me," she once said. Also, as a teenager, she witnessed a grotesque attack on an elderly lady. A group of boys had beaten an old lady to mere inches of her life. Donna rushed to help the woman, even giving her CPR. When authorities arrived, Donna fled the scene. But why run away if she was innocent? First, she was skipping school that day, as she had started doing on a regular basis, and didn't want to get into trouble with her parents. But also, she was scared that police would force her to testify and to identify the attackers. Donna feared that they would go after her and hurt her too. But when Donna learned that the old lady had passed away due to her injuries, she mustered the courage and testified, and the boys were locked away. But this did not mean that Donna was out of danger. The boys still had friends on the outside who threatened her. Just weeks before she was to graduate from high school at the age of 18, Donna left for New York, joining a band as their lead singer. The band was named Crow after the fact that Donna was the only black member in the lineup. She soon landed a part in the musical, Hair. But there was one big obstacle in her way. It was a European production, and Donna's father refused to let her go. When he eventually gave in, she packed her bags and followed the show to Munich, where she started dating a fellow cast member named Ronnie. However, the romance was incredibly short-lived, and the couple broke it off after just 2 weeks. While touring with the show in Vienna, she met and fell in love once again. This time with a psychiatrist who she referred to as Dr. Meyer. Although that wasn't his actual name, and for some reason Donna wanted to keep his real identity a secret. Meanwhile, Donna was advancing in her career and making a name for herself as a model, actor, and singer. Donna and Meyer even talked about getting married, but it was clear to both of them that she was destined for far greater things than to live a quiet life playing housewife. Once again, it wasn't long before she found herself in a new relationship with a director. As soon as that romance didn't play out, she again started dating and was in and out of relationships with rich socialites. Finally, just as she decided to stay away from love and relationships, she crossed paths with a friend she had met a year earlier. His name was Helmut Sommer, a Viennese actor whom she had worked with in Germany. The two quickly started a fiery romance, and in 1973, Donna and Sommer got married. Soon after tying the knot, Donna learned that she was pregnant, but nothing about this pregnancy was going to be easy for her. One morning, she woke up feeling sick and wanted to faint. Donna was rushed to hospital, where doctors told her she was at risk of suffering a miscarriage. To better look after her, Sommer took his new wife to his parents' house, where she remained on bed rest until she gave birth. In 1973, Donna and Sommer welcomed their first child, Mimi. The following year, she recorded her first solo album, called The Lady of the Night. Although the album achieved great success in Europe, it wasn't the same hit in the States. In 1975, she released what was to be one of her most famous songs of all time, Love to Love You Baby. The song reached number 2 on the top 100 charts, and the album sold millions of copies. Donna was suddenly an international superstar and a sex symbol. The song was so sexually explicit that it was banned by the BBC. One would think that the birth of their daughter would have brought Donna and her husband even closer together, but if anything, it was the start of the demise of their marriage. Donna suffered depression and loneliness. She was used to performing and socializing and being the center of attention. But now she found herself removed from the world, removed from doing what she loved, which was to sing and entertain. It was during this time that she met a painter named Gunther. He was married, just like Donna was, but they both were unhappy and they found that they could confide in each other. A friendship developed between Donna and Gunther that would soon turn into a scandalous affair. As a result, Donna and Sommer divorced, but she kept his last name and changed it to Summer. Now Donna found herself in a violent and abusive relationship. Gunther's true colors soon shone through, and he would often attack Donna without mercy, on occasion even kicking the bathroom door off its frame to get to her. It was also during this time that her ex-husband threatened to take her daughter away. As all this turmoil was unfolding in her personal life, her professional life was skyrocketing. But instead of soaking up the fame, she was drowning in it. Her celebrity status had a severely negative impact on her mental and physical health. As a deeply religious person, she was heavily conflicted with the sexual persona she had created as a singer. This image was in strict contrast with what God expects of his children. In 1976, and in a desolate state, she could take no more. "I just couldn't deal with another minute of it," Donna later confessed. So, she walked up to her hotel room window, determined to jump and to end her life. "Another 10 seconds and I would have been gone," she explained. "I felt God could never forgive me because I had failed him. I was decadent. I was stupid. I was a fool. I just decided that my life had no meaning." The thing that stopped her from jumping and that saved her life is nothing short of a miracle. You can even call it divine intervention. Just as she was stepping up to the edge to jump, her foot got tangled in the curtain. At that very moment, a hotel maid walked into the room. That was all it took for Donna to snap out of it. Had the maid been 10 seconds too late? Well, we hate to think what would have happened. As we've already seen, Donna was quick to fall in love. In 1977, while still with Gunther, she met singer Bruce Sudano. When Gunther learned about this new man in Donna's life, he was beyond furious and erratic. "Before I could say anything, he grabbed me, threw me up against the wall, and proceeded to slap me around," she recalled. That was the last straw for Donna. The abuse that time was so severe that Gunther was arrested. In 1978, Donna and Sudona started dating, and 2 years later, they got married. This time, Donna had found the lasting love story she always hoped for. This time, she found a man who would stay by her side until her death. Together, the couple had 2 daughters, Brooklyn, born in 1981, and Amanda, born in 1982. As a mother, Donna retracted from the spotlight to focus on her family. Although she was still working, she had slowed down her career drastically. In 2001, with the tragedy of 9/11, Donna lived just a few blocks away from the World Trade Center. Even though she had struggled with depression many times before in her life, the events of September 11 had thrown her into the deepest depression yet and caused her to become increasingly paranoid. I was freaked out. I couldn't go out. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I kept the blinds down and stayed in my bedroom, she said. In the following years, Donna was diagnosed with lung cancer. She was overwhelmingly convinced that it was as a direct result of the 9/11 disaster. She told people close to her that it was from the air she had breathed in following the attacks, which was filled with fumes and ash and asbestos. She kept her cancer a strict secret from everyone around her. Only her very closest family and friends were allowed to know, and they too were sworn to secrecy. As her health waned more and more, she became more and more reclusive. Knowing that her condition could no longer be hidden or explained away, Donna spent her last years in isolation before passing away from her disease in 2012. Did you know about Donna's attempt to end her own life? Or about her bouts of depression and paranoia? If you enjoyed this video, there's a good chance you'll also enjoy the one showing on your screen right now. Click, enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one.